This must be Blackreach. I've read the legends, but I never thought it was real. The stories hardly do it justice. Perhaps one day I'll have an opportunity to explore it more fully. For now, we have work to do. Are you still with me, my friend? Ah, the keystone. What is it, and how is it connected to that dwarven structure? Why are they so important to Radha and Lady Belaine? Perhaps they seek to harness some sort of dwarven sorcery? Well, regardless, we can't allow them to achieve their goal. Yes, but we need to proceed with caution. We don't know the purpose of the keystone, and we don't know what they plan to do with it. That said, we are not without our own talents. We can overcome any obstacles and find a way forward. We always do. I'll meet you across the river. Together we'll find a way to enter that ruin. Seeing Radha again, it reopened many old wounds. He wasn't always the villain. At least, I like to think he wasn't. Ah, fool's hope is a dangerous thing. Conflicted. I suppose you could say that. We were friends once, partners, in a great and noble undertaking. And then Radha changed. Maybe it was me. Now, who can say? He betrayed what we believed in, and then he died. Or at least, I thought he did. Without a doubt, Radha's plans, whatever they are, will prove catastrophic to the mortal realm if allowed to proceed unchecked. I hope I can talk to him, appeal to his better half, and make him see reason. If not, I'll do whatever I must to end this. We have the ability to mask our condition from mortals, but it takes a powerful vampire indeed to hide from another one of our kind. As much as I hate to admit it, Belaine fooled me. I can tell you this, she's unlike any vampire I've met before. All vampires carry the stain of Molag Bal. It's the inescapable reality of our condition. But Lady Belaine, I sensed something else inside her. A vacant darkness. Still, if I can speak to Radha, perhaps we can settle this without bloodshed. I was able to study the keystone, briefly, before Radha and Belaine snatched it away. It's a faceted stone bound by a metal band, obviously of dwarven design. I'm not a Dwemer expert, but the keystone, it could have 1,000 different uses. Now, it shares some similarities with Ayleid Welkin stones, but as far as I know, the Ayleids and dwarves had little to do with each other. That's puzzling. Magic stones often serve as power sources, as well as keys and even weapons. I reached that same conclusion, my friend. Let's get over there and find out, shall we? And if the opportunity presents itself, perhaps I can get Radha to see reason and abandon this destructive course he's set for the Grey Host. I'll meet you outside the ruin, my friend. where Rada and Lady Belaine entered the structure, but I can't find any way to open the doors. I suspect this may be why they needed the keystone. Good question. Let's look around. Not all of the ruin remains intact. Portions have crumbled over the ages. Perhaps we can find a path through the rubble. Just be cautious. I've seen both constructs and shadowy creatures prowling this ruin. The constructs are dwarven and expected. The shadows, some sort of beings made of inky darkness. Quite unsettling and potentially dangerous. Something unusual has taken hold of this place. I wish I could say for certain. I've done precious little reading on dwarven ruins. I do seem to recall the name Arkzand being connected to a university, a library. This place does have a sort of academic look to it, don't you think? I've seen nothing dwarven in their manner or appearance. Dwarves were meticulous scholars. Their constructs, their architecture, everything was precise and controlled. These shades are like wild animals. Whatever spawned them may not be dwarven at all. Reach magic strikes me as wild and unpredictable. Arana clearly shares a strong connection with the ebb and flow of the spirits, though. She might have sensed these creatures, but I suspect something else caused her distress. The source of these shadow beings, these shades, I sense a corruption, a void. The longer I'm close to it, the more I suspect it may be the very thing that drew Rada and Lady Belaine here in the first place. Stay alert, my friend. I wish I could say for certain. I've done precious little reading on dwarven ruins. I do seem to recall the name Arkzand being connected to a university, a library. This place does. That door is clearly locked. And that strange energy. Wait. Is there something on the floor? Anything worth reporting about the contents of that note? That parchment appears relatively fresh and intact. What does it say? The Library of Arkzand. Interesting. I assume a dwarven library houses more than simply books. Anything else of pertinence written there? A dark relic. That sounds ominous. And quite likely related to the darkness that Arana sensed, and I now feel as well. That could be the source of these shades. Anything else? Void portals, a dark relic resonating power, and strange shades. We can't let any of this fall into Rada and Lady Belaine's hands. Let's see what we can find on the other side of this structure. And not the slow decay of time. Something terrible happened here. strange-looking shard. Another note, a strange shard. What do you think, my friend? Interesting. The shards remind me of something torn from the darkest corner of oblivion. As unsettling as that object is, I think we should hold on to it, especially if we can use it to navigate the void portals. I suggest you try to use a shard to propel yourself through one of the void portals. The risks are significant, but if we can turn these strange pockets of energy to our advantage, we have to attempt it. Well done, my friend. Above you, try to make a connection with that portal. This is impressive. This place... I had no idea. I knew the dwarves created some magnificent structures, but this is amazing. And look, more of those void portals in the higher portions of this. The only word that comes to mind is cathedral. Until we find the source, I can only speculate. We need to locate it, learn more about this energy, and determine the true nature of these shades. If Radha and Lady Belain can harness this dark energy, I hate to imagine what they could accomplish. The longer I spend in close proximity, the more I pick up from the shades. I sense fragmented thoughts and raw emotion. They remind me of pure rage and unbridled pain. Perhaps exploring the library will yield some answers. Shades. I sense their presence in every dark corner. Keep going. The path ends here, but there's a door up above. We need to find a way to reach it. This appears to be some sort of containment apparatus. And there's a shade trapped at the center. Another sheet of parchment? Bring it here. Might that be another observation by the Grey Host Pentarch? What secrets does it reveal this time? Of course! Despite all the knowledge he gained, he made a mistake. That trapped shade. That's the Grey Host Pentarch. We should attempt to free him, if not out of mercy, then to determine what he knows about the dark energy and its source. Very well. Manipulate the crystals and see if you can set the tortured shade free. Just exercise caution, my friend. I would hate to see you trapped within the apparatus alongside the Grey Host Pentarch. That's it. Keep repositioning the crystals to reflect the energy. That did something. Try to connect the crystals at all 4 corners of the room. Try activating the remaining 2 platforms. did it! Quickly now, question the shade before it dissipates. Such anguish, such pain. Souls trapped in Molag Bol's realm wither over centuries, but this dark heart, it stripped that creature of its vitality almost instantly. I wish it had told us more. It could have been more coherent. Yes, but apparently for different purposes. Unstable breaches in the fabric of reality, imploded chambers, trapped shades. Everything points to some terrible dwarven experiment that went astray. This dark energy is clearly powerful, and dangerous. As the Shade implied, they each seek the Dark Heart for a different reason. I can only imagine what Rodder would do with such power. As for Belain, he called her the vessel that never fills. A curious description. Regardless, we must find them. It must have something to do with the sky above. Perhaps constellations such as those that led us to Bethar Zel. In any event, it's evident that the dark current flowing through this place traps souls and twists them into these shades. Perhaps it does possess life of a sort. Certainly it holds a vast amount of power. Power enough that we can't allow Rada or Lady Belain to get their hands on it. Come, my friend. Let's continue our hunt. Watch for signs of the Grey Host, which point us towards Rada and Belain. Stars and spheres, of course. In all... Rada and Belain, we found them. Let's listen in.
The orrery of Arksand. The key to our salvation. It has stood here unmoving for nearly 3,000 years.
You're sure the keystone will power it, Belain? It must be ready when the time comes.
The keystone is only part of the puzzle. As you agreed, we must also awaken the Dark Heart.
I gave you my word, Belain. The Grey Host will make your prophecy come true.
Reach witch signs and portents can be tiresome. But they are necessary for this. The Dark Heart must beat again.
And it will, Belain. Soon. With the Keystone, we can come and go as we please. Now, let us leave this place. We still have much to do before we restart the orrery.
Reach witch prophecies? What fates are you tempting now, Rudder? As we speculated, the Keystone does more than open doors. Rudder and Lady Belain plan to use it to restart the orrery. The question remains, why? And what role does this Dark Heart play in their schemes? I'm not sure. We know the Grey Host has Reach witches among its ranks. Perhaps a local coven has some role in all this. We need to speak with Arana. To learn about Reach witch prophecies, we might as well go to an expert. Without the Keystone or more of those void portals, we can't get down into the orrery chamber. I'll stay here and try to pick up their trail. I need you to go to Rebel's Retreat and see what you can learn from Arana.
Keep at it! Put that silver we acquired to good use, you lazy goat herders!
I wondered if you were going to return, Harrier. The worms and ghosts wouldn't stop whispering to me, talking about dark doings and stirring evil. But they were deadly silent about you. Did you catch up to Lady Belain? The Dark Heart, you say? There's a tale as old as the Ridge with an evil heart at its center. Like most Ridge stories, it ends bloody. Belain might have slipped your net, but we know what she's on about. Thanks to you, this hunt isn't over yet. The story of the Dark Heart. Welcome back to the sky above, Harrier.